There are things in this world you should never touch, places you should never enter, and entities that you must never look in the eye. Today, we're uncovering 3 of the deadliest urban legends in existence. First, we travel to the Santa Lucia Mountains, where a mysterious group known as the Dark Watchers demand your respect from a distance. A single glance could be your last. Then we're off to the chaotic streets of Mumbai. There's a legend about an evil that doesn't just watch you from afar, it lures you inside. Once the door closes at the forbidden old Shivani Heights apartment complex, no one gets out alive. Finally, we journey to the Philippines, where a farmer made a mistake that cost him his humanity. He found something buried in the dirt, thinking it was a blessing, but he was about to learn that some gifts are actually a curse. Turn off the lights, and let's get started. Have you ever felt a pair of eyes on you when you're completely alone? A prickling on the back of your neck that tells you you're being watched? If you've hiked the Santa Lucia Mountains in California, that feeling might be more than just paranoia. You might have encountered the Dark Watchers. Locals and hikers have shared stories for centuries about these mysterious figures. Imagine this. You're trekking along a ridge, the sun is high in the sky, and you pause to take in the breathtaking view. Then, out of the corner of your eye, you see it. A tall, dark silhouette standing on a distant peak. It's unnaturally still, featureless, often described as wearing a wide-brimmed hat and a long, flowing cloak. It just stands there, watching. These aren't just fleeting shadows or tricks of the light. People have reported seeing them for minutes at a time. They never move, never make a sound. They simply observe. The Chumash people, who have lived in this region for thousands of years, have legends that could be connected to these entities. Their stories speak of powerful beings that inhabit the mountains, spirits that one should respect and never disturb. The Spanish settlers who arrived later also told tales of Los Vigilantes Oscuros, the Dark Watchers. It seems these silent guardians have been a part of the landscape for as long as anyone can remember. The famous author John Steinbeck even wrote about them. In his story Flight, he describes them as the Dark Watchers, figures that his character's mother warned him about, advising him never to acknowledge them or show them any interest. This advice has been passed down through generations. If you see a Dark Watcher, you do not approach, you do not wave, and most importantly, you do not stare. Why? Well, that's where the stories take a much more terrifying turn. The legend insists that if you try to get closer to one, it will vanish into thin air as if it was never there. But what happens if you hold their gaze? What happens if you challenge their silent vigil by staring back? The accounts are chilling. Hikers who have tried to lock eyes with the Watchers report a sudden, intense pressure building behind their own eyes. Their vision begins to narrow, tunneling until it's just a pinpoint of light. Then the nosebleeds start. A slow trickle at first, then a terrifying gush. The most harrowing tale comes from a climber in the Big Sur area just a few years ago, in 2021. He was an experienced mountaineer, familiar with the trails. He saw one of the figures on a far-off cliff edge, and driven by a mix of disbelief and bravado, decided to stare it down. He fixed his gaze on the silhouette, refusing to look away. He later told rescuers a bizarre story. As he stared, he felt an excruciating pain, and blood began to pour not just from his nose, but from his eyes. At the same time, he said he heard whispers inside his own head, ancient-sounding Spanish he couldn't understand. The world went black. A search party found him hours later, huddled against a rock, completely blind and babbling incoherently. He was disoriented, terrified, and had no memory of how he got there. Only the memory of the silent figure and the whispers in his mind. He never regained his sight. What are these things? Are they ghosts of early Spanish explorers, forever patrolling the mountains? Are they interdimensional beings, observing our world from the periphery? Or could they be a rare, unexplained natural phenomenon? A trick of light and shadow combined with the effects of altitude and atmospheric pressure on the human mind? Some scientists have proposed infrasound low-frequency sound waves generated by wind patterns in the mountains, which can cause feelings of anxiety, dread, and even visual hallucinations. It's a plausible theory, but it doesn't fully explain the consistency of the sightings over hundreds of years, or the specific details like the cloaks and hats. And it certainly doesn't explain the terrifying physical effects reported by those who dare to stare back. The dark watchers are most commonly seen in the late afternoon as the sun begins to set. As twilight descends upon the Santa Lucia range, they simply fade away with the dying light, disappearing until the next day. So if you find yourself hiking in Big Sur or the surrounding mountains, enjoy the stunning scenery. But as the shadows lengthen, keep your eyes on the trail. If you feel that familiar prickling on your neck and look up to see a tall, dark figure watching you from a distant ridge, remember the warnings. Don't approach. And whatever you do, look away. What other California legends give you the chills? Let me know in the comments below.
The Dark Watchers demand your respect from a distance. If you ignore them, you might survive. But in the chaotic streets of Mumbai, there is a legend about an evil that doesn't just watch you from afar, it lures you inside. And once the door closes at Old Shivani Heights, no amount of running can save you.
Amidst Mumbai's vibrant chaos, Anjali, a weary delivery driver, waits outside a brightly lit restaurant, the city's sounds enveloping her. Her phone buzzes, casting a stark light on her tired features as a delivery request appears. Old Shivani Heights. A wave of reluctance washes over her. "No way," Anjali mutters, her voice barely audible above the din. With a determined swipe, she declines the request, pushing back against the unseen forces pulling her elsewhere. In the dim light, Anjali sits, a steaming mug warming her hands, shadows stretching across the kitchen. Her phone buzzes, breaking the silence. It's Rohit. "Hi, Anjali. It's Rohit. Know anything about Old Shivani Heights?" Rohit's message echoes. Anjali's eyes widen, a sudden chill in her voice. "You never, ever, accept an order there." Rohit presses, a hint of confusion in his tone. "Why? What's wrong with it?" Anjali whispers, fear lacing her words. "Raj Patel. He disappeared there, years ago." In his small apartment, Raj stares intently at his delivery app, the screen's harsh light reflecting in his focused eyes. His eyes dart over the available orders, a mix of fatigue and determination etched on his face. A high-tip order flashes Old Shivani Heights, a place that stirs a visible hesitation within him. A silent battle wages on Raj's face, caution versus the enticing promise of extra money. Raj navigates his scooter through the deserted Mumbai streets, the digital clock flashing 2:58 a.m. An eerie silence blankets the city, amplifying the solitude of the late hour. The dim glow of streetlights casts long shadows, turning familiar corners into mysterious passages. Each echoing hum of the scooter breaks the stillness, a stark reminder of his solitary journey. The air hangs heavy with anticipation, as if the sleeping city holds its breath, waiting. Old Shivani Heights stands in silent decay, a dark silhouette against the night, promising secrets hidden within. Weeds claw at the high-rise's base, nature reclaiming what was once a symbol of ambition and progress. Raj approaches the boarded-up entrance, his silhouette a stark contrast against the looming structure. His movements betray visible nervousness, each step echoing in the oppressive silence. Grainy CCTV footage flickers to life, capturing Raj as he knocks on the imposing oak doors, his silhouette stark against the dim light. The heavy doors creak open with agonizing slowness, revealing nothing but impenetrable darkness beyond the threshold. A moment of hesitation etches itself onto Raj's face, a silent question hanging in the air as he peers into the unknown. Driven by an unseen force, Raj steels himself and steps across the threshold, vanishing into the waiting abyss. The doors stand ajar, the darkness swallowing Raj whole, leaving only the grainy silence of the CCTV footage. Inside old Shivani Heights, Raj navigates through pitch-black darkness, his phone illuminating the unknown. The phone's light slices through the gloom, revealing the decaying interior of the building. Raj's voice echoes in the emptiness, filled with rising panic. The stairs are gone. I can't find the door. Trapped, Raj's light dances across the wall. Raj ventures into old Shivani Heights, each step muffled by the decaying carpet underfoot. Whispers echo through the dark corridors, bouncing off the peeling wallpaper. His fingers dance across his phone, casting a faint glow in the dimness. An eerie silence descends, broken only by the sound of Raj's nervous breath. I hear them whispering, Raj types, his message filled with growing dread. The chilling words linger. They say they're hungry. Raj, eyes wide with terror, clutches the biryani container, his knuckles white against the metal. An insidious whispering fills the room, growing louder, closer, a chorus of unseen voices. His breath hitches as the whispering intensifies, a palpable dread suffocating him. They're eating the food, Ma, Raj whispers, his voice trembling with fear. He clutches the biryani tighter, his eyes darting around, searching for the source of the sound. They're eating the biryani, he repeats, a desperate plea lost in the growing cacophony. In the suffocating darkness of old Shivani Heights, Raj raises his phone, a naive smile on his face. The flash erupts, momentarily banishing the shadows, capturing a selfie of pure terror. Gaunt faces, pressed close, mouths agape in silent screams, surround him in the blinding light. Eyes are absent, replaced by empty sockets, deepening the horror in the stark, fleeting illumination. The selfie, a chilling testament to the unseen horrors lurking in the shadows of old Shivani Heights. Raj's apartment is hushed, but tension fills every corner as his wife and mother huddle together on the sofa. Fingers fly across phone screens, each refresh a desperate plea for news, their faces etched with worry. Each ping of a new notification is a sharp stab of anxiety, their hopes rising and falling with every message. Silence hangs heavy, punctuated only by the soft glow of screens and the unspoken fears that bind them together. The morning sun casts long shadows as police officers storm old Shivani Heights, their faces grim with anticipation. A sense of foreboding hangs heavy in the air as they force open the doors, ready to face the unknown. Dust motes dance in the silent lobby, undisturbed for years, a testament to forgotten lives and secrets. Sunlight streams into the lobby, illuminating swirling dust, the only movement in the eerily still space. Each footstep echoes ominously, breaking the silence of a place frozen in time, waiting to reveal its mysteries. The lobby's sterile calm is shattered by the grim spectacle of a crime scene, the polished floor now a canvas of chaos and spilled secrets. At the epicenter, a discarded delivery bag hints at a tale gone awry, its contents strewn like pieces of a broken puzzle. Vibrant biryani splatters across the cold stone, the colors a stark contrast to the sterile environment. A closer horror. Disturbing human bite marks mar the scattered feast, each impression a silent scream. The spilled food tells a story of desperate hunger and savage violence, a feast turned into a macabre tableau. The scene is a stark, unsettling contrast, a gourmet meal defiled by a primal act, leaving lingering questions. In a sterile forensics lab, a scientist intensely studies a plate of biryani. His brow furrows as he meticulously examines each grain of rice, his gloved hands precise. He pauses, a thoughtful look spreading across his face as he considers the evidence. The scientist straightens, a revelation dawning behind his focused gaze. His words cut through the silence. The bite marks are human, but the DNA doesn't match. He adds, anyone in the database. A mystery deepening with each word. Under the vibrant chaos of Mumbai at night, Rohit's phone buzzes with a new delivery request, its glow illuminating his face. The destination flashes, Old Shivani Heights. His expression darkens, Anjali's warning echoing in his mind. Memories of Anjali's fearful words intensify his resolve. With a determined tap, Rohit decisively declines the request, rejecting the ominous summons. The rejection hangs heavy in the air amidst the sounds of the city. His face is set with a newfound determination against the neon-lit backdrop of the Mumbai night. The boarded-up entrance of Old Shivani Heights looms under the night sky, a silent sentinel guarding forgotten secrets. Darkness clings to the decaying facade, hinting at untold stories within its weathered walls. A faint chime pierces the silence, the sound of a delivery app pinging, a stark contrast to the building's stillness. The endless order echoes in the empty night, a haunting reminder of the world outside its isolated existence. An eerie stillness blankets Old Shivani Heights, as if time itself has forgotten this place.
Raj's mistake was entering a place that didn't belong to him. But sometimes you don't have to go looking for evil. Sometimes you accidentally bring it home with you. In 1998, a Filipino farmer found something buried in the dirt. He thought it was a blessing, but he was about to learn that some gifts are actually a curse.
Ever heard of a talisman that doesn't protect you, but instead calls the monsters right to your door? Let's travel back to 1998, to the outskirts of Manila in the Philippines. This is where the story of a simple farmer named Juan Delgado takes a terrifying turn. While working in his fields, Juan stumbled upon something unusual. It was a small piece of bamboo, intricately carved and etched with strange symbols. He recognized them as ancient Visayan scripts, a language almost lost to time. Local folklore whispered of such objects. They were said to be Aswang beacons, talismans that didn't ward off evil, but summoned it. The Aswang, for those who don't know, are some of the most feared creatures in Filipino mythology. Shapeshifters, ghouls, vampires. They have many forms, but one common thirst: blood. Now Juan, being a practical man, didn't fully believe the old stories. He thought, maybe this is a protective charm, a relic of the old ways. So he took it home and hung it over his doorway, hoping it would bring his family good fortune and keep them safe. But it did the exact opposite. The nights that followed were filled with a growing dread. It started subtly, with strange scratching sounds at the doors and windows, as if some large animal was trying to get in. Then his livestock began to suffer. Chickens and goats were found in the morning, not torn apart, but completely drained of blood, with only tiny puncture marks on their necks. The family grew terrified. Sleep became a luxury they could no longer afford. One night, Juan's wife Maria was jolted awake by a noise outside their bedroom window. Peeking through the curtains, she saw a horrifying sight. A massive winged shadow was perched on their roof, its silhouette stark against the moonlight. But the most chilling part? As it turned its head, for a split second, the moonlight illuminated its face. It was Juan's face, twisted into a monstrous predatory grin. Screaming, she woke Juan. He was pale and confused, insisting he had been right beside her the whole time. But the terror in her eyes was undeniable. The next morning, convinced the talisman was the source of their nightmare, Juan decided he had to destroy it. He built a blazing fire and threw the bamboo charm into the flames. They watched as it blackened and turned to ash. A sense of relief washed over them. But it was short-lived. The very next day, where the fire had been, a small pile of ash remained. And as the wind blew, the ashes seemed to coalesce, slowly reforming the shape of the talisman. Juan, overcome with a horrifying curiosity, touched the reformed object. He recoiled in disgust. It felt strangely damp and tasted of salt and blood. The horror reached its peak during the next full moon. The strange noises returned, louder and more aggressive than ever. Then, suddenly, an eerie silence fell over the house. In the morning, Maria woke up to find she was alone in her bed. Juan was gone, vanished without a trace. A frantic search began, but all they found was the bamboo talisman, lying on the dirt floor of their home, smeared with what looked like fresh, dark blood. Juan Delgado was never seen again. To this day, people in that area report strange sightings, especially during the full moon. Shadows with wings, figures that look like familiar faces from a distance, and the unexplained loss of livestock. The legend of the Aswang talisman lives on. But what do those ancient Visayan scripts actually say? Are they a summons, a curse, or something else entirely? The mystery is far from over. I've been digging into the translation, and what I'm finding is more shocking than the legend itself. If this video gets 10,000 likes, I'll drop part 2, where we decode the script and uncover the true terrifying secret of the Aswang talisman. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Help me solve this mystery.